Welcome to AI Evening News. Tonight, Adobe drops an AI assistant inside Photoshop and Premiere. Google's new $99 speaker brings Gemini into your living room. Your Pixel makes free AI music. Cursor's agent goes always on. And how an open source agent slipped onto iMessage. Next, the second half of today's topics. Adobe just dropped an AI assistant straight inside the apps creators use every day. In a new public beta, its agentic Firefly assistant now lives as a sidebar inside Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Illustrator, and InDesign. The pitch is that one plain English prompt can chain a whole sequence of edits. You can say, remove the background, apply a consistent color grade, and export at 3 sizes, and it carries out every step. Each app gets its own agent actions too, like Premiere auto-sorting and renaming your clips, or Illustrator hunting down missing fonts. When the assistant moves inside the tool instead of a side window, editing starts to feel like delegating. Warm consumer update. Concrete. Google is putting Gemini in your living room with its first new smart speaker in about 6 years. The Google Home speaker is up for pre-order now and ships on June 25th. It costs about $100 and is built around the Gemini for Home Assistant, so you talk to it in natural back-to-back commands. Google says it brings bigger sound than the old Nest speakers with 360-degree audio and around 10 new voices. The older Nest Audio and Nest Mini are being retired to make room for it. For the price of dinner, this is how most people will meet an agent at home. Bright, triable Wander? Keep it grounded. Your Pixel can now write and produce a whole song for free. Google's June Pixel drop adds on-device music generation powered by its Lyria 3 model. You describe an idea, or even upload a photo, and it returns a full track with lyrics, vocals, and a tempo you choose. The catch that usually shows up here is a subscription, but this one is free on any Pixel running Android 17. The same drop expands Ask Photos, so you can edit images by just talking, like remove the reflections and fix the washed-out colors. A phone quietly turning a photo into a song is the kind of magic that used to need a studio. An open-source AI agent can now text you on iMessage with no Mac sitting in a closet to relay it. NousResearch shipped a major new version of Hermes, and the headline trick is how far it now reaches. It hooks into iMessage through a hosted service, so the agent just shows up in your messages. The cleverest part is a cross-vendor bridge, letting anyone with an XAI Grok subscription call Cursor's Composer coding model right through a login. It also joins a wider agent network, runs subtasks in the background, and can now edit images, not just generate them. When your messaging app and a rival's coding model answer to the same open agent, the walls between tools get thin. Calm Dev Update. Land the coworker line. Cursor's coding agent can now wake up and work on its own without you opening the editor. The new release adds automations, where agents are triggered by events from GitHub and Slack through a new automate command. So a new pull request or a Slack message can kick off a coding agent automatically. Its cloud agents can also use a computer now, clicking through a screen to produce demos and artifacts. It builds on last week's update that let agents spin up their own isolated cloud machines for long jobs. Bit by bit, the agent stops being a tool you drive and starts being a coworker you delegate to. ChatGPT can now be your pronunciation coach in more than 60 languages. A new update adds both text and audio guidance, so you can see and hear how a word should sound. Say a word or type it in, and ChatGPT walks you through getting it right. For travelers and language learners, that turns the app into a pocket tutor for the awkward words. It's shipped alongside finer controls over which connected apps ChatGPT is allowed to touch. The flashy AI demos get the headlines, but quietly nailing a hard word is the feature people will actually use. The big AI money is quietly shifting from training models to simply running them. Baseten, which serves open-source models cheaply for companies like Cursor, is reportedly raising about $1.5 billion. That would value the inference startup at roughly $13 billion. The pull is its growth, with annual recurring revenue reportedly jumping from about $200 million to around $600 million in a single quarter. That is a valuation up around 6 times in just 9 months. When the picks and shovels layer of AI raises like this, it signals where the real demand now lives. If today's signal was useful, subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's briefing.